how's it going? Welcome to a new video. Thank you so much for coming back if you watched the first part of the story. So this is it. We're gonna tell you the rest of the story. So let's roll. It was so hard though, like traveling in my situation was really tricky, but we did it. We got to travel together. Peter came home with me. He was gonna meet all my family for the first time, which is hilarious. Like, oh yeah, this is, by the way, your daughter's pregnant. No, but it was so excited to look forward to that. And when we arrived, everyone was at the airport. Here are some photos of that moment. But my mom was there, my sisters were there, my grandma, my aunt, my grand-aunt, and it was so exciting. I was gonna see my cousins, everything was gonna happen. Right like that day, I took Peter to eat tacos for the first time. Here's a video.
The video? Or?
Yes!
Okay.
Is it good?
Mm-hmm.
Are you laying for the video?
Mm.
And it was great. And then we're like, our gender reveal was gonna be that Friday. So as you guys know, if you haven't checked our gender reveal, but it was such an emotional, amazing moment for us when we finally found out that our little baby was a boy. So that was super exciting. One of my favorite moments ever. And also, like, I had to like deal with like my foot, right? I was home, like people here might like help me better. I did start treatment at first. We didn't turn out good at first, but then not really. And then we find out that with like another specialist that I needed surgery, but I was like, I don't want to go through surgery while pregnant, especially because I have already been through a whole lot of things, health-wise, and a lot of tests and a lot of things that you just don't want to go through while you're pregnant. It's not good for the baby, right? So I was like trying to deal with that, and unfortunately I had to be off my foot for the rest of the pregnancy, so I was in a wheelchair and stuff like that. Thank God at home I had a car, so traveling was easier, which was good. And thank goodness I only threw up like 2 or 3 times back at home, and from that moment on, like, my mom, who's fantastic at like health stuff and everything, she helped me get through all of that. And like I started gaining weight and I started having like great cravings, because even though I had cravings before, well, I obviously picked everything. Like my cravings were like fruit and sushi, and right now like I'm craving more stuff. I was craving like cheap little things and like popcorn and nothing really weird, but like I was just like, yes, food, you know. And I was excited that was happening. And Peter got sick, unfortunately. I had to go back to Boston, so I was like a little while with just my family. And you know, I got to catch up with my grandparents and my aunts and my uncles and my friends, which was so excited to see my friends finally. After telling them I was pregnant, I was like, hello, I have a bump now, and it was really, really exciting. And eventually, thank God, Peter got to come back, and he didn't miss our baby shower, which was super cute, super exciting. My mom did such an amazing job. I'm so thankful for her and like the people involved in organizing my baby shower. And I'm going to show you little photos. Here are some photos of my baby shower. It was so special. And I did went to the OBL times while in Mexico, and we were like having ultrasounds and checking my baby and checking like my kidney stones, because I did have kidney stones in the fall before getting pregnant, so like it was so important to check that as well. So you know, everything was going good. And at some point I did have to go back to Boston, so I traveled to Boston, and unfortunately Peter and I had like different flights, so I had to travel like in a wheelchair and everything by myself, which was like not fun. But that happened, and once I got back to Boston, it got tricky again, for different circumstances, like personal circumstances for sure. That I don't want to get into it, but like a lot of stuff started happening, and like I got depression, and then like everything came together to a point where, for whatever reason, I didn't had access to food, and that kind of started like damaging my health once again. And I started like passing out and having like all these symptoms, and finally we found out that it was because I had anemia. And I was so close to the end of my pregnancy that my midwife was like really worried, because facing labor anemic, it's definitely a little bit more dangerous for the baby as far as the mom. So that started happening, but at the same time, like when I was feeling good, good things were happening. Like we had access for a pool, which was good because it was really close to like our place, and some friends did pregnancy photo shoot for us, which was really cool. I was super excited, and I'm gonna show you guys some of the photos. And yeah, and like my birthday happened, and we had like some one-on-one time before becoming parents, and ultimately I had to go and be in the hospital for 30 days. And on those 3 days, they did a lot of tests, and they like the doctor suggested like maybe this is not where your baby should be born. Like you don't have what you need here to be ready for birth, and you're anemic, and like we can help you with your anemia, but we're not sure that that's 100% the way to go. I agreed with the doctors completely, especially the way I was feeling now. Like I was so worried of what could happen. Like they started like warning me about what could happen if I did went into labor anemic, and I got so scared. I was really scared. So obviously this being scared triggered my depression even more. It was just too much, and I did want to enjoy my last time, like my last weeks pregnant, and it was a hard decision with Peter, because he was expecting something, but we talked it through, and we decided that what was safest for me and my baby was to go back home and to have James there, even though he changed the original plan. So I traveled by myself back home after a month and a half of being back in Boston. It was a tough plane ride because, symptoms, crazy pregnant, and they were like, this is your last chance to travel. You have to do it now or you're not going to be able to. So I did it, and thank God I got back home to my mom, and then since we knew that this was the decision that was going to happen, then I had to start planning, where is the baby going to be born, like who's going to like take care of all of these things, and that meant more fees and things that were going to have to be covered. So I went to my OB visits to take care of the anemia. Then we found out that I also needed calcium because my bones weren't didn't have enough calcium. So I started taking like all these stuff that I needed to take care of. And my mom put me like in this iron diet that helped me a bunch. And thankfully, like a couple of weeks before going into labor, my anemia was controlled. And I was just so blessed that that happened. And it was crazy because I was excited for my baby coming, and I got to like live all these moments with my family. Like they painted my baby mom. I'm gonna show you guys photos of that too. Like it was just fantastic. And a lot of the things that happened were ended up being for the best. And Peter came back to my home at September 16th, I think it was. It was 3 days before I went into labor. And it's crazy. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. And I'm gonna tell you guys my birth story on another video. So that was a little bit about my pregnancy. Now I'm going to answer some questions I did not answer through the video. If you're still here, thank you, because you guys did make me questions, and I'm going to answer the ones I did not answer through the video. So first one, why do you call him Tiny Avocado? Well, since the beginning of the pregnancy, I would look into like little gifts and little images and stuff for babies, and I found one of like an avocado, and I was like, oh, my tiny avocado, and then like everyone started calling him Tiny Avocado as well. So it just kind of like, I know everything's avocados, and I love avocado, and he loves avocado. So that's basically it. Second question, what was your favorite trimester? My favorite trimester was basically from the moment I started throwing up. I was like, from like the middle of the second trimester on, I adored being pregnant from then. Third question, would you change anything or do you regret anything from your pregnancy? Okay, I mean, I guess no, but if I could change one thing, it probably would be like being able to like nest, you know, being able to have a place where I could just be like the nursery and like everything for him, and like really like set on like baby stuff rather than like being all around. And regret, well, probably practicing my dance. Oh my god, without that accident it would have been so much easier, and I'm still suffering the consequences of that accident today. So definitely not dancing. Next question, who was your biggest support through your pregnancy? That would be my mom. She was like an angel, and like I've said before, like I've learned that I've never needed my mom more than being like while pregnant, and then like labor and everything. Like definitely my mom. What was your worst symptom and how do you handle it? Well, definitely the morning sickness, and like I said, I could not really do anything, so yeah. And I was really dehydrated, so like definitely like what I did for that was like Peter was on top of me with like water bottles and stuff like that. And heartburn, which I actually took medicine for that because nothing would work like to make it work. So yeah, not much help, but definitely I tried. What was your favorite thing about being pregnant? I adored being pregnant, and my favorite thing was like he was all mine, and being able to like feel him kick. The first time I felt him kick was when I was waiting in a doctor's appointment, which I recall was the nutritionist, and I'm like in the waiting room, and so I'm like, oh my god, what is that? And it was amazing. I loved it so much because and from then on, like you can start like to see it, and it's such an indescribable feeling because like I cannot describe how it is, and like only a handful of like women, well no, a lot of women actually, but only women can like experience that, and like I don't know, it's just amazing. Like probably feel him is what was my favorite thing about being pregnant, but I kind of like liked all of it, even the bad parts. Such an amazing experience. Okay, that was it, you guys. If you have any more questions, you can always go to our social media to find out more. Thank you so much for joining us into these very special videos, and wait for our birth story, which is definitely coming up. Thank you so much. Don't forget to check out more of our videos. Do follow our social media, and see you next time. Bye bye. And cut.